All right, approximately 11 o'clock this morning, Gates Fire and Gates PD, along with Gates EMS, responded to the intersection of Spencerport Road and Markmar Trail. Initial call came in for a two-car motor vehicle accident at that intersection. Upon arrival by Gates Fire, they began extricating both vehicles due to the extent of damages. Gates PD and Gates EMS pulled up and assisted. Gates Fire had to reach out to Ridge Road Fire District in the city of Rochester for assistance with their extrication process due to having multiple vehicles with people trapped. At the current moment right now, we do report, sadly, that there were 2 fatalities at the scene, and there's 1 person still at Strong Memorial Hospital with unknown injuries at the current time, still being evaluated as it's still fresh. At the current moment, Spencerport Road is going to be closed down for the next couple hours, probably through rush hour, while we conduct our investigation down here. And alternate travel plans should be made for the area.
What does it look like happened?
Looks like we had 2 cars that were, one was going eastbound, one was going westbound. We're working to figure out who crossed over, but it looks like one of the vehicles did cross over, and we did have a head-on crash at the intersection. Both vehicles ended up on their side and causing entrapment to the drivers and passenger.
What about the weather? It's dry, it's sunny. How could this have happened?
Dry, sunny weather. It could have been sun glare. Someone could have been distracted in driving. It's all part of the investigation that we're dealing with right now, just to find out what the circumstances are behind it. There could have been a blown tire which caused the car to veer over, or something else that could have happened.
What about that particular stretch of Spencerport Road? Can you give us sort of a description of what it's like and how that could have played a role or anything like that?
Yeah, that stretch of Spencerport Road where this incident occurred is 1 lane eastbound, 1 lane westbound. It's a state posted 40-mile-an-hour zone with pretty heavy traffic in this area. It's Route 31 that runs through Gates here, and a lot of travel to the west part of the county and travel back towards the city.
What about margin for error if somebody's not paying attention or has a problem? Is it a little narrow?
I'm sorry, with the traffic, I didn't hear you.
Margin for error. Pretty narrow, maybe not very forgiving if you get distracted or drift or anything?
Yeah, down in that area there is a culvert on both sides of the road that's kind of close to the roadway, so any distraction or anything could result in something of this nature right here. There definitely isn't a great shoulder on either side of the road.
With the 2 deceased when anybody got there?
Yes, upon our arrival there, they were deceased inside the vehicle.
Within the same vehicle?
Sorry.
Within the same vehicle?
Yes, they were both in the same vehicle.
What were the vehicles?
One was a pickup truck, and the other one I really couldn't tell you at the current moment until we get done with some of the investigative nature on that one. Based on the damage, I couldn't even tell you.
It's that banged up?
It's pretty banged up, yep. I was talking with the fire chief and prior to talking with you guys, and we still don't know what it is yet, that type of vehicle there.
Pickup truck was pulling something. You know what the pickup truck was pulling?
The pickup truck looked like it was pulling a driveway ceiling trailer or a road ceiling trailer of some sort. I'm not into that technology. I don't know what it really is, but it does have tar on it. So.
The 2 people, were they male, female?
There's 1 male and 1 female that have passed away, both in the same vehicle.
Not in the pickup?
They were not in the pickup, nope.
You've been to accidents. How's this one look?
This one's pretty bad. The amount of damage that's down there, obviously the 2 fatalities and the injury to the other driver. This definitely isn't your typical parking lot, 2 cars with a little bit of damage. This is significant, so that's why we'll be down there conducting a thorough investigation for the next couple hours.
Total number of people between both vehicles?
The total number is 3.
What's the extent of the injuries to the truck driver again?
The extent of the injuries are still unknown. He is at Strong right now, being treated. So hopefully a little bit later today we'll be able to give you a further update on all that.
Not life-threatening, or?
At this current moment, I couldn't even comment on that one. He was put in a Gates ambulance and rushed out of the scene pretty quickly once he was freed from his car. So we're still waiting for an update from the hospital.
A couple neighbors say that's a stretch where it sort of levels out, and they've had a lot of bad accidents around there.
It does level out there. We have had issues in the past with some speed. I would say probably 7, 8 years ago, we had a fatality in that area where a vehicle had left the roadway and flipped over. So I mean, it's happened down there before.
What has to happen to figure out what exactly went wrong? What has to happen?
We're interviewing a lot of the witnesses down there, checking some camera video from different houses, and talking with the current people that are on scene down there to kind of piece together what happened prior to all of us arriving.
Do you have a lot to work with?
We have a lot to work with. Again, that's why I said we'll be keeping the road shut for a couple hours tonight, and we'll probably be back to brief you guys a little bit later this evening. Unfortunately, it'll probably be right around the 6 o'clock time by the time we figure out what's going on here and get it all opened up again. Yep.
Fire gonna tip it?
I don't have any unless you got specific questions.
Who? Okay, name and title.
Assistant Fire Chief Timothy Gooley, Goole.
Who responded first, and what did they find?
So we started our normal response for a rollover, which is a couple pieces of apparatus. The first engine arrived on scene within minutes and determined that they had 2 vehicles on its side with multiple people trapped. At that time, we requested additional assistance from the Ridge Road Fire District and ultimately an additional rescue from the City of Rochester. That was mainly due for assistance with equipment, manpower, and hand tools.
When did you get there?
I was coming from across town, so relatively early in the incident.
How did it look when you got there?
Like the lieutenant had mentioned, the accident scene was rather large and in serious nature. We did the best we can to get the people out and off to the hospital.
We heard calls about people trapped. Was there a point where you figured out that you weren't going to get a couple of them out there alive?
That determination wasn't. We weren't sure of that until we actually got into the actual patients themselves, and then we were able to determine that they were deceased on scene.
Is there a moment where, I guess, a responder realizes that?
I guess, I mean, we get in there, once we have access to the patient, we check for life signs and stuff like that, and that's when we determined that there were none.
A letdown?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, our job is about helping people and getting them the help that they need quickly and as efficiently as possible. And nobody wants to walk away from a situation like this.
Both of the deceased have seatbelts on?
I don't know that information.
And couldn't even tell what the car used to be?
It was an SUV. Make and model, I couldn't tell you.
Pickup and SUV?
Yeah, I believe so.
What was the state of the driver of the pickup?
I don't know. I never talked to him. I saw him removed and then transported to the hospital by Gates ambulance.
Conscious, talking, anything like that?
Couldn't tell you.
LT? No?
Yeah, when I pulled up, same.
Okay.
We probably pulled up just opposite sides of the road. When I pulled up, the ambulance was pulling away, so I never really saw the person. They had just loaded them and they took off before I could even figure out what was going on at the scene. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Thanks,
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it does switch to 45 down in there. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, because it's a 40 and